You are now tuned in to Owen's Exhibit. Welcome back, listeners. It's been a while since I recorded an episode, but thankfully we're coming back, and I have a guest with me today. Her name is Brianna, and she's the founder, owner, creative director of Destined Greatness, and we're going to get into her career journey and what she's been up to. So if you want to give the audience a brief introduction of who you are and what you do.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Brianna, like he said. I'm 23, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My business is based in Brooklyn, New York. And I have a streetwear apparel brand that focuses on adversity and just spreading positive messages.
That's great to hear. We are going to get into the icebreaker section. I want to know, what is your favorite sandwich?
This is my favorite sandwich, hot or cold?
Up to you.
Cold, honey glazed turkey, lettuce, no tomato, melted cheese, mayonnaise on a roll.
Super specific. Do you have a hidden talent?
Not really, no.
No hidden
Besides, well, a lot of people don't know that I know how to play the saxophone.
When did you pick that up?
Elementary and middle school, and then I played a little bit into high school, but it's just something that a lot of people don't know that I know how to do.
That is something that I'm sure a lot of people don't know. What is your escape?
Working, literally.
When you say that, do you mean creative work?
Creative work, going to like my regular 9 to 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I'm one person where I feel like when I'm at work, I don't have time to really think about outside noise. So, work.
What 3 words would describe you the best?
Attentive. Now I'm in a phase where I'm very jovial. And a workaholic.
Some good ones. Lastly, if time travel were real, what time would you go to? Back, forth? Forward, backward, where?
I wouldn't want to go to the future if I couldn't come back.
Okay.
Because I want to come back and use it to my advantage. But I would love to go back to this is so crazy, prehistoric times. Only because I'm into the reincarnation thing. I think is real,
Mm-hmm.
despite my religious beliefs. But
Wait, what were you in your past life? If you had to guess.
Probably a bird. Probably a bird. Because I like to be free doing my own thing.
So do you think dinosaurs and everything in the prehistoric time was reincarnated into what we are today, or what do you think? Yeah. Interesting.
And then because kind of with the religion thing, and then a lot of the conspiracies that go on now with what you call them, the Nephilims, the giants.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know if they existed during that time frame.
That would be so crazy to see.
I would want to see it, or maybe be one.
Yourself, yeah. I would definitely want to see myself as a giant, over 5'11", because
think about
I
it.
get made fun of.
There's a lot of statues and stuff, and it's where did they come from? If some of them weren't nobody has a real record of them being built,
Mm-hmm.
where did they come from?
So, what's your favorite dinosaur? Do you have one?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Okay.
This sounds so childish, but I love to watch Dinosaur Train. Maybe because I have nieces and nephews. But I
I've
like.
never seen that.
Oh my! It's
Is it, what time frame is it? Like our time frame or
no, it's
newer?
back in the prehistoric time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a dinosaur train. So they have a little conductor.
Yeah.
That's a dinosaur. He takes this little dinosaur family.
Yeah.
They go on like trips to different dimensions of like dinosaur prehistoric time.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to meet different dinosaurs, and then they teach the little kids about the different dinosaurs and things like that. I love that show.
Those shows are good. Like something that'll teach you something. Also very, very, makes you very curious about everything.
Yeah, I love that cartoon.
So you probably, your excuse is you watch it because your niece and nephews. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You brought up some interesting questions when we were talking earlier. I want to ask you these questions now. What does greatness mean to you?
Okay. So to me, greatness means like how like you impact the people around you, like whether it be in a positive or a negative light, because sometimes people, not say being negative is being good, but like a little bit of negative, it's okay to have like a balance of negative
Criticism.
vibes. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, just be like, how do you impact people on a day-to-day basis? Like, what is your actual purpose here? Like, that's gonna show like how you're great in whatever aspect, or how you take what you view yourself as great and show it to people. Granted, you're gonna show your greatness in different limelights to the people that you encounter and meet, because not everybody deserves to see like all your high points versus like your low points.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's.
I have recognized recently that a lot of these like movies or TV shows that I watch, like they just really inspire you and motivate you. The ones that I'm like referring to is like The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, or like I recently watched like the David Beckham documentary, and you just get to see these people's lives and like how much they dedicate to these things, and they like have so much passion towards these.
The Kanye documentary?
Yeah.
I feel like that came out at the most perfect time for him. Because it just opened up to like remind people like,
he's human.
This was me in my highest peak. Like, this is my greatness. Like, what you guys are seeing is still my greatness, but it's like not at the highest point. Like,
yeah.
So I feel like that shows the difference of like some people seeing you at your highest point of your greatness, and then some people also like seeing you at your lowest point of your greatness.
I think it has, but when like you're comparing those stories, I think all that has to do with is like how big of an impact you have, because you might still be this person that's projecting greatness, but it might not be at the right platform. Like you might want to be at a bigger platform, but I think like if you're going towards greatness every day, you're projecting greatness. Like you're trying to be your best self. You're treating people the way people should be treated. You're making the best use of your time. So I feel like the only difference is like how many people see it.
True.
So I think you know what the next question is going to be, but how do you represent greatness?
Okay. So like what we had talked about before, growing up, I was like really involved in like volunteer work within like the church and the auxiliaries and things like that. So like at a young age, little things of me like helping my godmom clean the church, things like that, or helping my mom feed people on the food pantry line. That's me at a young age finding like, okay, there's a purpose in giving back to other people that are either less fortunate or that at least need some assistance. And then like even now to this day, like I don't deny people anything, like whether it comes down to like my friends or like people that I don't know. I'm on the train, if I got it, somebody asks for it, I'll give you like $1 or $2, because I think karma comes back either real quick or real slow. So maybe I might give $1 to somebody one day and they might bless me with something because they might be acting. But I don't know. But I don't think you should like turn a blind eye to those type of people either. And then like me being a business owner, and I show my greatness through that because like I give back a lot of stuff within my business. Like I do giveaways on a regular. Like I don't really care about the money part because it's gonna come. So I don't mind giving away, because if somebody came to me and was just like, I don't got it, I'll give it to you. I don't care. Because either way, you're still wearing my stuff. I'm helping you. I don't know your situation, but hopefully you come back around and maybe bring me some clients or something, bless me in a different way.
You talking about that scenario, I think that's one of the things that you do, and it connects you with these people. It also gives these people an avenue to be interested in your brand, because it might not be like accessible to them. Like you were saying, like, oh, okay, maybe they're interested in it, but like they don't have the means to get what they want right now. But then they're going to come back later and remember like, oh, like she recognized me. She saw me as someone that was of value, or like, you know, you saw me as a person, and like I felt recognized, and then they're gonna come back, and like obviously that support builds and builds and builds.
Most definitely.
And it's like, imagine if you could measure word of mouth or like brand loyalty, like if there was some way to like measure that. But it's like that's immeasurable. Like you don't know like what that person's saying, like when they're saying it, how it's gonna affect someone else. It's so crazy to think about, and like you can't replicate that. Like it's so natural.
That's why like when I encounter people, I try to make sure that they get the best like impression. Like whether you buy something or you don't buy something, because my customer service, I didn't get certified in hospitality for nothing. Like I need for this customer service to be on point. Like, so
I did notice that. I guess I should talk about how I met you. It was actually I had two of the people on this episode, on this podcast. We obviously had Claude, and then we had the other bad guy. We had both of those brands on, and their owners were able to talk about kind of their missions and everything. But basically, you were doing this pop-up not too far from here, and that's how I met you. And I could just tell from that interaction that you were very like passionate about what you were doing, and also like great at customer service. Because
you got that impression.
Yeah, because even though like I was just there to like talk to people, connect, whatever, but you definitely treated me as if I were a customer, as if I were just like, it felt like you treated everybody that way. So I definitely can see that you're pretty good at this kind of interaction thing.
And it's come like over time, because I'm like, before I used to be one person where like I never like to talk to people. So having a business gradually made me come out of my shell and like want to talk to people. Not to say like I was like the shy person, because I was always in athletics. I was always like in the limelight of something. But I was very reserved. If I didn't have to speak, I'm not going to speak. I was always that person. And then a lot of people have this like persona about me because I'm so reserved, that I'm like mean or something. Half the time I be in my own world, and they be thinking I got an attitude or something because my face, but I just be like, I be in my own world. I got businesses going on. I'm thinking about inventory, who I got to email, things like that. So like it's forced me to talk to people. So now it's like I'm getting better at communicating, because before my communication sucked. And then it's also like putting me in a position where I'm putting myself in more rooms that I never thought I'd be in. Like that pop-up shop, I probably would never went to that if I didn't be like, let me just go. I need to put myself in different rooms, and not just, because before I was only doing pop-up shops with people that I knew. I was like, no, let me go to a pop shop where I don't know anybody. Because I don't have no choice but to talk.
Right.
So, and closed mouths don't get fed. So.
That's a fact. I guess I want to get into now basically your upbringing and what some of the things that influenced you to get into this creative field and also start your own business, like what those influences were and maybe what these things that you're now recognizing were like motivators for where you are now. So growing up, you grew up in New York, and you went to a high school that was for business you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I want to even go back further, like growing up, were you doing anything creative, or like how did you spend your time with your friends? Like, were you playing sports? What were you doing?
So I started running track like very early on in age. So that like at a young age gave me like a drive and like an extra like boost of confidence like at a really young age. So that put me in a position to meet a lot of people, because track meets, you're gonna see thousands and thousands of people. So that, and then it drew a lot of attention to me because it made people want to be interested in what I was doing. Granted, I don't run anymore, but it made people look at me different because of where I come from. So it's like, okay, this girl got something going. Let's just ride the wave and support it while she got it going on. And then I played basketball for a little bit. That wasn't really like my thing. It was my thing, but it wasn't my thing.
Right.
Like, I like individual sports because you can only blame yourself if you mess up.
So you were talking about playing basketball in high school for 2 years.
Yeah.
And that was something you were interested in, but you're more of an individual in the sense that like you like to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. And high school, well, not really just high school, but like being an athlete forced me to like be a little outspoken, because you got to speak up like about little things, because you're gonna have officials and refs and things like that that are like not fair. And then I played volleyball in high school. I went to a predominantly Hispanic high school, so the volleyball team was like very Hispanic. And it was just like one or two African Americans on the team. And I was like, let me just join the team. And I was like, I got athletic ability, so I think I can do this. And I was one of them people where I'm like, I can play any sport if I put my mind to it. I even wanted to be on the football team too, but they wouldn't let no girls on the team. I was like, I want to do everything possible that I can do. And when I was in high school, I would say like I give like my artistic like or like creative mindset, I give all that credit to my art teacher, Mr. like Max Essinger. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's like this high-end artist. Like he has his stuff in exhibits and everything.
And so he was your art teacher in high school for really how long?
For 4 years.
For all 4 years. Wow.
Yeah, he only was the art teacher just for like the fun of it on his own. Like he's actually like established, so he really didn't need to be an art teacher.
That's cool.
Yeah, like my freshman year, I never really wanted to go to his class because it was ninth period. Nobody wants to go to art ninth period. But then like gradually I was like, okay, let me keep asking to get this class on my schedule. And then like me and him like grew a bond, and I was like, okay, you're teaching me like how to make colors, color theory, all this extra stuff. And I was like,
yeah.
Okay. Then he does a lot of like spray paint art, not like graffiti art, but like actual how they be in the exhibits with spray paint. And then I got interested in spray paint art. Now I love to do spray paint art. I'll spray paint anything. So he kind of like helped with that because it got me into like drawing and painting and knowing these things about colors. And before I had actually started doing clothes during COVID, I was doing graphics for people. So it was like, okay, I can draw. I know how to mix and blend these colors. I can do this. So it played a huge role in like how I'm able to like do my designs, know what colors go together, warm colors, cool colors. So like hands down to him for like being an art teacher that pushed you to want to do something.
Right. Those experiences allowed you to become a lot more automatic and very strategic about what your designs are today. Like you're able to know what colors work and which colors might not work the best, and when to substitute different colors to make something more vibrant or toned down. So it definitely sounds like you were getting this full experience early on. Did you recognize that like art was kind of the direction, or a creative kind of experience was the journey that you wanted, the route that you wanted to go in?
At first, no, because ideally I was like, okay, I just want to have a business. I don't care what business it is, but I know I want to have a business. So I was like, as long as I know the basics of how to build a business, do a business, run a business, I think anybody that has that structure can do a business. You can do it. Whether you got a passion for it or not, eventually you'll grow the passion for it. If it's something that you gradually grow to love. And due to the simple fact that I was like involved in so much athletics, I was like, I want to do a business that focuses on athletics. Won't catch me doing that. But
you tried it, or what made you realize that you didn't want to do it?
Like, athletics no longer became fun.
Okay.
So
like once you hit high school, it required a lot more from you, or like you're talking about like even towards the end of high school, you were realizing, okay, I'm not going to continue with this?
Even before that, I realized that it wasn't fun, but it was like everybody knows me for this. So like I was doing it as I got older for other people's opinion, not necessarily for my own. So it just no longer became fun. I was like, this is something that I literally love to do, but it's not fun. I even have a track and field tattoo. That was my first tattoo I've ever gotten. Wow. So it's like, I love the sport that much, but it's like, no. I would want to coach now if I could. Like, I had recently did, I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram and stuff. His name is Jordan Pierre. He went to Syracuse, and his graduation speech went like super viral. I did back to school drive with him because we grew up together. And I ran into my old track coach at the back to school drive. And she mentioned to me that they were trying to start back a track team at my elementary school. And I was like, perfect opportunity, but I don't know if I'd be able to be connected to it as much as I think right then and there I'd be able to. So, because that's one sport where I wouldn't want to let kids down, because there's so much opportunity in athletics. But yeah, and then like what made it not fun too was, granted, being an African American, people have this idea, if you have athletic ability, they want you to take it as far as it can go. No, I have a brain.
Right.
Let me put my brain to work as well. A lot of people wanted me to go to college for it. I was like, no, I want to go to college to pursue something else. My legs are not going anywhere. As long as I go to the gym, they still going to do what they need to do. But I don't want to go to college for that, because God forbid I get hurt. I'm done. College scholarship over. I don't want to do that. I have a brain. So like that put me in like a very tricky spot. So it just became no longer fun. And I was like, I gotta do something else business-wise. And art is like, there's so many lanes to art. You can draw. Clothing is an art. Hair, makeup, different things are forms of art. So it's like, this is something where if I can change my mind and still like branch out and do different things, because it's still art.
Right. I'm glad you kind of brought up athletics as our first topic because I have really recognized that a lot of people say that athletics are one of the bigger things that kind of teach them how to deal with um, obstacles, how to build resiliency, and how to just like be able to then be in real life situations and recognize, okay, it's not going to be easy. Like whatever I want to do, it's not going to be easy. So do you feel like that sets you up? Like, do you feel like being an athlete sets you up for what you're doing now?
It definitely did because it made me very attentive and to have tough skin. Because you're going to have people that aren't going to like you because you beat them in a race, or you got to know how to be up early. Because I used to do New York Roadrunners and Colgate. We had to be up at the crack of dawn at the school to get to these races on time. And I think like I hit my first like major like eye opener with track. I had got injured at Icon Stadium in the Bronx. And this was when I was in high school. And at this time, it was like raining, running in the rain. I hate running in the rain. And rushing to get to this meet, I did not grab the right spikes. So I was like, okay, I'm going to run. I don't even care what time I get at this point because I'm trying not to fall because I know I can hurt myself. And I ended up hurting myself because I grabbed the wrong spikes. So I can only blame myself. But in the same token, the coach that I had wasn't as attentive to like the injury or like certain things. Like he didn't really show like enough care.
Yeah.
So that was just like, I can't be on this team. Like I just cannot. Like I need, and then it's like, you can have one bad coach that like makes it the worst
for
sport ever. If I had a coach in high school,
someone who understands you,
I had in elementary school, hands down, I'd probably still be running.
Yeah.
Cause she set my elementary school coach, she set the tone for like what a coach needs to do. Once I got to high school, I was like, oh no.
That's it's kind of surprising to hear that like you started as early as elementary school. Like in elementary school, I was doing like a fun run. Like we were like running around this like dirt track, and they were like once a month, like the fun run. But you started early. And all of this stuff that you're talking about, it seems like, I mean, not to pressure you, but it seems like you should be a coach. Like you understanding kind of how this impacts young people's lives. It really teaches you these valuable lessons.
A position where you don't want to let nobody down.
Yeah.
Like it would kill me for a kid to say I'm a bad coach or whatever.
But they don't know.
And
they don't know until later.
I was captain for a little bit on my high school team, and it drew wedges between me and a lot of my teammates because in high school, you have people that want to run maybe just for the uniform because it's booty shortage.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people like that didn't actually have a drive for the actual sport. Me, I'm not new to this. I've been doing this since I was a youngin'. So at the time in high school, the goal was to go to college, get seen by colleges for it. Because my mom was paying for like scouting and everything because the school was not focusing on that whatsoever. And I drew a wedge between me and a lot of my teammates because once I was captain, we're not doing the lateness. Why are you eating full-blown sandwiches before practice? Like, this is not going to work. And then everybody wants to be like late or slacking, be lazy, complain. I'm like, y'all ain't in it for how I'm in it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, sounds like all the reasons why you weren't into basketball, because when you got a team, you got to worry about everybody else. Like, you're only as good as your weakest link. So, like, that person that's over there goofing off on their phone all the time, not paying attention, like, they're going to bring you down. So it sounds like you were just, like, focused and all these other people were kind of distractions, or they kind of like hindered what you were trying to do. So
It got so
that does
bad.
make it challenging.
I wanted to transfer high schools, but because I still wanted to do business, I was like, let me just stay at the high school that I'm at. But I ended up training with the high school that I wanted to go to in the summertime, because their summer coach would allow like outsiders to also train with them. I took advantage of that. And that team dynamic was like, yeah, my high school ain't nothing compared to them. Yeah.
Well, it's even interesting to hear. For me, it's different here. Like, there's these business focused programs, like high school programs, because like when you go to high school where I'm from, it's just like you go to high school and everybody learns the same thing. But obviously you're talking about, you wanted to learn business because you saw it as kind of like the fundamentals for everything else. Like if you're playing sports, like you learn the form, you learn, you know, like what workouts you got to do. So like in business, like there's these baseline things that you kind of got to learn, and then these things are going to be your gateway to doing all these other things.
That's like, I feel like a lot of people give high schools here like a bad rep because of like the dynamic of like the kids and things like that. But I'm like, can't necessarily blame the kids, because granted, there's a lot of distractions, poverty, things like that. People have stuff going on that they bring to school, influences around them. So it's like, that doesn't need to take away from the actual beneficial things that high schools offer. And I would say like a lot of times, like for people that would be like, when I talk about like my resume and my like credentials and things that I earned, it's like not to seem like snobby, but to some people that didn't take advantage of opportunities that were around them, even though we've had the same opportunities, they feel like, okay, they're less than. But it's like, you need to see what's around you and take grasp of it. Like my high school not only focused it on just like business, but they also did Cisco. So they had a whole computer program. You got to choose. Did you want to do hospitality and tourism, or did you want to do Cisco? Cisco, they taught you how to build them computers to a T. In the same way that we had to take an exam, they had to take an exam.
Wow.
A lot of kids just lollygagged.
Yeah.
You could have had an entry job as soon as you left high school just off of that knowledge of you knowing that. If I, out of high school, didn't want to go to college or actually do like work, I could have went and been a manager at a hotel or do something that catered to these things. Even here, you have people, if they want to do FDNY, they can go to a school that focuses on those things. Nursing, you go to a high school that focuses on that. Fashion and design, that. Music, they have high schools that specialize in these things here. I wish other states would get in tune and have these like things. I always say out of state, the most thing that y'all got up on us is the driver's ed.
Yeah.
Because I wish
I didn't have that. I had to pay for that.
I wish they had driver's ed here.
Yeah.
But they don't. But I just wish other high schools in other states or other places did offer these things, because it puts you ahead. Like, I feel like history and stuff, I'm not going to take that and run with it in the real world.
Yeah.
But me taking computer science, hospitality and tourism, accounting, these things in high school shape what I wanted to do and help me do things outside of high school. Because right now, people be like, how do you do your own taxes? I'm like, listen, my accounting teacher broke down certain things about taxes. He might have thought we wasn't paying attention, but I was paying attention. Now when tax time comes, I know what I'm doing.
That's valuable. I needed to be in that class. I need to be in that class.
And surprisingly,
honestly,
it wasn't a class that was given my whole 4 years. They threw that class in there my senior year, and I was like, great, good thing they threw it in there my senior year.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't want to get us too off topic, but like you said, like some kids, they come to school with these other things and they might not take advantage of like this Cisco program or like the computer where you're learning, you know, you said like
how they learn how to build them.
Yeah, building. Okay. So like they might not take advantage. So like there's like two kind of directions you can go. You kind of can be like dismissive of these programs, whatnot. But I guess, like you said, there's people like yourself that take advantage, and you end up like getting these things that are so valuable for your everyday life. And you talked already about your art classes. Do you remember any other classes that were like very valuable? Accounting.
Yeah, accounting. So my computer science teacher and my accounting teacher was the same teacher. So like I feel like the computer science thing helped because once again during COVID, I learned how to do graphics. Like I was like, okay, I have like prior knowledge of this, so let me like learn a little bit more of what I didn't learn from him. So I was doing graphics for people and also doing websites because everybody wanted to start a business during COVID. So it came in handy, like those classes. And
You did hospitality and tourism?
yeah,
And you did these were computer, you said classes? They were like on the computer, whatnot, or what?
it wasn't like, not necessarily on the computer. Like they had a teacher, she taught it, and it was a guy teacher. So you either had one of those two teachers throughout your 4 years. They broke down the courses, so you had to learn like how to do like a continental breakfast. You need to know the math of like hotel things. Like they broke down like everything, customer service, basic things about tourism, attractions, things you would need to know if you wanted to go into like the exact field. And then you knock the exam at the end of your 4 years, which covers everything. And then the knock the exam isn't just a written or multiple choice. It's a physical exam. You have to demonstrate things that you learned.
That's intense.
During your 4 years. It was a good thing that I learned it because it helped. Like even now, if I wanted to pick up and go work at a hotel or something that involves hospitality, I can do that. So, and then it even helps even if not, because customer service involves hospitality and tourism, even though some people don't really think about it because people like clothes. So say if I had a store, I would need to know like based on where my store is at, are tourists coming here? What type of tourists are coming here?
Right, the people.
What do I need to put in the window that's going to attract these people? Like those things go hand in hand. So everything go hand in hand without, at that age, me really thinking about it. But now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, I already have the fundamentals of this stuff. Let me put it to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work for yourself.
Something very visible about your demeanor is like your work ethic. And when we were talking earlier, you spoke about how you started working like around the age of 14. So can you kind of dive into that? Like even before you were helping out your mom doing these, you were talking like working food kitchens and stuff.
So at 14, I started working summer youth. At that age, at that time, they didn't really like put you at like an actual field job, but they had us, other people that are in your age bracket, you learn basic business fundamentals too, like how to dress in a work environment, how to talk to employers, how to build a resume. But because I already went to a business school, we literally had to update our resumes every year for that class. So I not only was able to learn something from SYEP, but also help somebody else next to me that probably was struggling with how to build a resume or things like that. And then after that, once I got to the age, because I've done summer youth every year since then, literally up until this year. And this summer will be my last summer that I can do summer youth because it stops when you turn 24.
What is summer youth?
So it's summer youth employment.
Okay.
So they offer jobs it's from age 14 to 24. So in the summertime, you do the lottery thing, like you put your little application in, they pick a random lottery, you get picked. Some high schools get first pick in the lottery because they're high schools that are partnered with SYEP.
Okay.
Because I guess maybe it might be like a poverty rate or like they know like this school has this demand with these kids. My high school is one of those high schools. So we get picked for it. And honestly, a lot of people shun it but it's such a good opportunity. I've worked with a solar panel company. I've worked at a celebrity cake shop, BKNY. I've worked with this other business company. I did like a little daycare thing, but it was like online because it was COVID.
When you say lottery, you mean like you just get
They do a random
put with a
pick.
random business,
No.
or you get a random number where you get to then go choose what you want to do?
So they do a random pick,
Yeah.
and then they let you know that you got selected. And when you get selected, you basically just like bring in the documentation to verify your identity,
Okay.
of course. And then they have a job fair. So you go to the job fair, you might see maybe some people, they want to do a summer camp.
Yeah.
They can
I get
decide
it.
they want to do a
Okay.
summer camp. Or you might see a high-end job. You go work at the high-end job. You just go to them, you fill your name out, and that would be one of the choices that you want to go to. Now, say they might have some places where the choices might get filled up, so you have to go with something else, like your other option.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, a lot of retail stores are partnered with Summer Youth too. When I was working at Panera, Panera was partnered with Summer Youth, and I didn't know that. So you're able, and then it puts you in a position where after Summer Youth, this job might offer you an actual job.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily pick the summer camp thing. I think if you're going to do Summer Youth, pick a better quality job because you can potentially have an actual job after the fact.
Right.
You gotta work.
You were thinking smart. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did learn a lot, like even when it comes down to like the solar panel stuff, working at the cake shop. So it was like, yeah.
So you've done this pretty much every summer since what time?
Since 14.
Since 14. Wow.
I was
And-
like, I'm gonna run it up till I can't do it no more because it stops at 24.
Yeah.
So this gonna be my last summer.
Take advantage. And you're working, like, what's your next job? Also, you're doing this during the summer, and then you said you've had like other jobs also?
Yeah, so currently I work at the post office and I do security.
Okay.
Ideally, security wasn't something that I wanted to do, but it's like everybody needs a security guard, so that's just like an
Yeah.
easy job. And then I do catering like from time to time at Panera, like if they need me. And I started working at Panera like probably like 5 years ago, I think. I would never saw myself working like in a food chain type of thing like that. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
It's just like, cause food is just like, that's gonna test your patience. That's gonna test your customer service skills like no tomorrow. So for me, I like doing jobs or like things that are gonna benefit a skill or something that I already have. Cause I don't want to say I don't want to learn no new skills, but I need to set in stone the ones that I got. Like I need to make sure that they are secure, like the basis is secure. Like any job that's gonna help me build up my customer service skills, talking to people, being able to be like a teacher to some people type of thing. I want that type of job.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like you've kind of experimented enough, or you've been able to put yourself in enough positions to know kind of what you want to do. And it seems like do you think you've found what you want to do, or are you still trying to find what you want to do?
I think I found what I wanted to do because I like to do business. But for me and like the family dynamic that I come from, financial literacy was never like something that was like spoken of or like wealth things. So I personally want to be the person to kind of like break the chain of this thing. Like I'm not doing the business just to like have it for now. And I like on my clothing brand, once it blows up and gets where it needs to go, I want to be able to branch out into like other things. Maybe buy some property, do some real estate, do little things that are gonna like I can sit back and coddle on while it's generating wealth. Like when I tell people I want to have a house when I'm 25, I'm like, they be like, you want to have a house at 25? I'm like, what you think I'm working all these jobs for?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be the person that's stuck in one spot. Like, I want to elevate and be something. Like, a lot of people figure because they live somewhere or like are accustomed to things that they have to be stuck there. No, you don't. And I've gotten to a point too, like, back to like my family dynamic. My family has made a lot of decisions that shaped a lot of things that I do or that I wasn't able to do in life. But I've gotten to an age and a point now where like I know what I want in life. So I'm not letting nobody's decisions shape nothing I got going on but my own. So if you ain't on the Brianna wave, then I gotta just leave you. Because I'm getting this house when I turn 25. We're gonna build this wealth. Because I don't want for my kid, when the time comes for me to have one, to worry about what college they want to go to because mommy ain't got the money. Or if they can do athletics. And then if my kid wants to work when they're 14, I'll let them. Do you. But I don't want for my kid to be in that position where they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
Like me, not to say I felt like I had to, but it was like I don't want to keep asking my mom for money.
Right.
I'm not the only kid. So I don't want to keep on asking for nothing.
That's a good mentality to have. We've gotten to talk a lot about what you've studied in school and your experience playing sports. I want to get into the Destined Greatness, your apparel. I want to get into that side of things. So when did this idea come about?
So because of like the athletic things that I've done, it kind of gave me like a body shape that was like very like muscular. And at this time I was like very, very skinny and muscular. So like a lot of things I could not wear because they made me not look right, or I just end up looking like a little boy. And I don't want to keep looking like a little boy. So I was like, okay, there's a lot of people that sell clothes, but it's not like you go to like Gap or H&M and things like that. They're not necessarily catering to like you or like your actual like niche. They're just providing clothes. So I was like, okay, I have the knowledge to do this, so let me just start out making out stuff that I like and wear my own stuff. Still to this day, I barely buy clothes. You barely get me buying clothes because I'll be like, I can get it myself and do it myself. So I wanted to just like make clothes that were like edgy that I could still wear and still comfortable. Because I don't really care for like super tight fitted clothes. Like I'll wear it if it's like leggings, athletic wear, because the athletic side. But like getting like super dressed up, that happens every once in a blue moon. But I still want clothes that are stylish that I can throw on. And then I got into like knowing like exactly what streetwear was. So then I was like, okay, this fits what I like because it's still up and stylish. You can kind of dress it up, dress it down type of thing. I was like, this fits. I can work something with this. And I started out with just doing like regular like t-shirts and sweatpants. And then it just like elevated. Like as the business started to like grow, I was like, I can't sit at home and do this. I gotta actually source out some manufacturers or something because I'm like, I can only sew but so much in my house. Like I can only do that but so much and for but so long without getting tired. So then I was able to like source out manufacturers, sample things. In the beginning, I ran into like manufacturers that was playing in my face with my stuff. But then it's like a learning thing. So with the clothing brand thing, a lot of people think you just make something and just put it out. No, I hate rushing stuff. Like I just dropped this varsity jacket on my birthday. I made this jacket last year, this same time last year, but I was like, no, I don't want to just get it done and drop it. Because I know there's going to be things that I want to tweak about it, change. I want to make sure it can hold up a whole year. Because don't nobody want to buy nothing that they got to throw away in a couple months because it done got raggedy. So, and then I still want for it to be affordable. So I want to find other manufacturers that can like do what I want and see what's the best like price quote, things like that. So like if it wasn't for like people not having clothes that I liked, I probably would have never started the business. But good thing that did happen.
Yeah.
Because now I got stuff that's like cozy, fits, can wear a long time, long lasting. Yeah.
And when you started this, I don't know if you mentioned it. When was this? This was high
I
school?
started in 2019.
Okay.
The actual clothing brand itself, but my LLC, the Brianna way, I started in 2018 because I was still doing like the art stuff. Like
That's like you're doing graphic design,
Yeah.
website development, all that sort of stuff. I remember
that was kind of like to like build money up too from
Yeah.
what I wanted to do.
I remember when we talked, you were working at a print shop. You were
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No longer?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't
But-
feel like I was getting paid for the work that I was doing.
Did that teach you anything working there? Or
It did
Yeah.
because it was my high school business teacher
Mm-hmm.
that owns the shop.
Yeah.
It taught me things because that was my first time ever getting fired from a job. But it wasn't like
I couldn't
necessarily.
see you getting fired.
Me
I'm
neither.
surprised.
Me neither. I was stunned, but I didn't mind because I felt like, okay, I served my purpose in this workspace.
Mhm.
And a lot of people have to remember me. I take work very, very serious. Like, I don't care if I know you, don't know you, whatever. Like, I take it very serious. And if I feel like I ain't making what I need to make for what I'm offering, I'm
Yeah.
going to make it very clear. Because the job still is getting done. But I feel like if it's not livable, I can't be here.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then it was just like taking away from like things that I wanted to do in my own business. Because it's like I'm putting my energy into yours. And like, I'm not really doing anything for my family. So.
No, this is very sensible thinking.
Yeah.
If you're providing this value, you should get paid for what you're providing, or at least be treated fairly, whatnot. So, do you have anything that you've dropped that's like your favorite, or something that you're kind of like very happy about? Anything that like really is like one of your favorite pieces?
One of my favorite pieces is this jacket.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Let's see it. Let's see it. So this is a varsity jacket, and you made
Yeah.
this 1 year ago,
yeah.
and it just recently dropped on your birthday, which was yesterday.
Yes.
So happy birthday. And
Thank you.
this is, you have white sleeves, and then the black is the main part of it.
Yes.
And
then
what does it say on
orange.
it?
So on the front, it says like one of our. Well, I need to stop saying the we and the R because it's just me. But it says one of my like main slogans: the only thing standing between you and greatness is you. And then the other slogan that I have that's not on this is discover your greatness, let the world find out. And then here it just has Destined Greatness, and then the year, of course, I started. And then it just says DG on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you know that you wanted to move on from t-shirts? Did you always kind of, because it seems like you're a very forward thinker. So like, what was the game plan diving into Destined Greatness? What did you envision it becoming?
Because I feel like, not to say t-shirts are cliche, but like, t-shirts are like a throw around thing. Like,
You can only do so much with a t-shirt.
Yeah, and for me, my mom used to have like be super mad because I like to cut stuff up. So like I don't want to, not say I don't want nobody to cut up a t-shirt that I made, but like people are gonna cut it up, throw it away, not really take care of it. A varsity jacket like this, you're gonna want to take care of it. A fitted hat, you're gonna want to take care of it. So me also moving in a space where like I wanted to shift my target audience too, or like elevate it and have like levels to my brand. Like, cause I want for it to always remain affordable for people, but I don't want to limit myself and what money I can make from my business. So like the varsity jacket is like something for like somebody that, not necessarily if they don't have the money, if they do have the money, they can still get it. Cause I do have a rewards program. So like there's always room for people to be able to afford something, even if they think it's a little too pricey. And then I have t-shirts, socks, wristbands, things that like if you do want to support and maybe you might be on the less fortunate side, you can still buy something, wear it, still rock the message behind it, little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I still stick to like my t-shirt things. So
Yeah, we were talking about the t-shirts, and the messaging seems to be a really big thing to you. You said some of your t-shirts might have something about anxiety and kind of that sort of
yeah,
those details.
so I dropped a t-shirt that says your anxiety is lying to you. And then on the bottom of it, it says, if you think every day is a bad day, try missing one, right? So a lot of people, I had sent it to another like influencer, and they like reviewed the shirt. So they was trying to like figure out what the shirt meant. It was like, so does it mean like kill yourself? And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people who have like anxiety or depression, they'll think every day is a bad day. Not necessarily like on their own, like, because granted, anxiety and depression is like a conscious thing.
Yeah.
So their conscious might make them feel like everything is a bad thing, or like this littlest thing can happen and the worst, they think the worst of it. But it's not really you. It's like your mind, like it's playing tricks on you. So if you think every day is a bad day, you wouldn't know unless you miss one. And then it goes over people's head. Depression and anxiety is one of the high cause of suicide things.
Mm-hmm.
And suicide is like not necessarily like a touchy subject for me, but it's a touchy subject. Because I went down my little route. A lot of people don't know that, but it's like my business isn't just like my business. Like I stand on what message I'm trying to put out. Like even when I first started, when I was doing hoodies and t-shirts, I would put a phoenix on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the phoenix. I feel like that's my spirit animal. I even got it tatted right here. But I would put a phoenix on it, and I would make sure the phoenix was reflective, because that's another symbol of like fire type of thing, like light. Cause like rebirth, like it's okay to start over, try new things, like overcome
Each day
stuff.
is a new
Yeah,
day. Like you don't have to listen to this voice in your mind telling you like, oh, it's gonna be a bad day when you wake up. Like definitely, I didn't really understand anxiety until like a week ago. Like I was like, no, I don't have an anxiety. Like that's not a thing. Like this anxiety thing, like that doesn't make sense. But then I was like, wait, I have anxiety. I was like,
but that's the thing too. Like I feel like the misconception is like a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I went through my like suicidal thing, I was kind of young, but I was like dealing with like a bunch of stuff, because like I'm adopted, so like I was dealing with like a lot of like family conflict things, and it was just like playing in my head. My mom is very old school. Like my adopted mom, she's very old school. Mm-hmm. That's my mom. I'm not gonna call her my adopted mom just in case she watched this, because she was mad. But she, at the time, you could like, because she's older, they don't really take note into like depression, anxiety. They'll be like, you acting up, get your stuff together. But it's like something's wrong. Like even now, everybody has a perception of depression that people think you have to be laying in your bed or be sad.
Yeah.
That's not the case. Like me, I go through it, but working is my way of like, I cannot sit down. Like I can't. Because when I sit down, I feel like my thoughts about to get me. Like I can't sit down. Like I got to go work.
Right.
I got to be doing something. That's a form of depression. Like I'm working to get rid of whatever is going on. But people, I hope that eventually like my business shines a light on like these things. Not necessarily like, I don't want to be a person that's like having a brand that's like forcing it down their throat. Because granted, I try to make products too that aren't like necessarily like too on a mental health thing.
Right.
Because granted, it doesn't resonate with everybody. But I do have some for like some people that are like, okay, I like it, I'm gonna rock with it. Like the shirt I got on, make the best impression. That goes with anything. And then I'm into like a lot of symbolic stuff. So like this shirt, it has a fingerprint on the side, because impression. I
noticed that. Yeah.
The fingerprint. And then every shirt that I have that I dropped of this one doesn't have the same imprint. Oh, wow. So I made sure like when I did the design that each one was a little different from the next one. So they're not matched. And somebody that would go over their head because they're gonna be like, oh, it's just a t-shirt. No.
Details. Yeah.
And then people don't. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes down to like having a brand, like some people they just want to buy clothes. Cool. But I feel like if you're gonna buy something, I think you need to know what you buy.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't want to just walk around with anything without knowing what's going on. But yeah.
No, these are very special points about your brand, your messaging, all the thought and planning that goes into the designs that you make. There's so much that goes into it. And you were even talking about, just like knowing your customer, knowing who's gonna buy your clothes, knowing kind of what their price point is, what they're interested in, what they're looking for. So you've done a great job of looking at it from a business aspect and then also looking at it from a design standpoint. What do you have planned for the future? What do you want to accomplish with this?
For a little while, I wanted to have like a store, but I don't want to have a store because I don't want business to be stuck. I like the e-commerce thing. But I feel like I will, in the short time, invest in like one of them little vans. And I like want to put my business, like get it wrapped, make sure you have like the business thing on it.
Yeah.
Because you see I have the globe on the jacket. It's like the worldwide thing. So like, because everybody's going to be great. You might not know what it is now, may know 30 years from now, whatever, but everybody's going to be great. I would love to like have like a movable store. Be on the road. On wheels, yeah, be on the road, take the business anywhere.
Right.
Like spread stuff anywhere. Like the socks that I had dropped, I like doing a giveaway thing with the socks. Like I plan on, granted it's gonna be like a loss,
right,
money wise, but I don't really care. Winter time's coming up. The socks are very warm, so I plan on giving them out to like homeless people outside, things like that. I don't really care about losing the money. It's the purpose behind it. Like,
right.
So, yeah.
I like this. I like this thinking. So you want to have a store on wheels and you want to be able to bring this concept, this brand to everybody because you really feel that this message doesn't just apply to this small target audience, but it's really this whole group. It's just kind of you're focused right now on this one market, but you know that once people start getting behind the messaging and the brand, that it'll start like being something that everybody is able to resonate with and recognize.
Yeah, because if you see like you have a lot of brand owners too that like branch out into like mentorship, things like that. That goes hand in hand too, because it's like the business focuses on like mental health things. So even if I could like discuss my own experiences, that's considered mentoring in a sense, because I'm able to relay like, once again, you're not confined to your circumstances.
Yeah.
If I made it, you can make it. And if I'm able to provide different things that I've learned or different opportunities, I would love to do that. I would love to get to the point too where like maybe hiring people, because I know people be needing a job. I would love to do that too. But it's all in due time. In due time.
Brianna, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and speak with me. And I learned so much cool stuff about your journey, about your brand. And I hope that so many other people learned something new and that this brand really continues to grow and that you're able to grow it into what you envision. Yes, so thank you so much. How can people connect with your brand and support what you're doing?
So you guys can shop my shop at thebriannaway.com. We're available on TikTok, Instagram shop. The Instagram is destined.greatness_apparel. And TikTok is thebriannaway.nyc. So we're available on TikTok shop, Instagram shop, Facebook shop, the whole nine.
Everywhere and global soon.
Yes.
So I'll definitely have all those linked in the bio so people can go shop. Thank you so much. Is there any closing messages you have?
Just a daily reminder, you're not confined to your circumstances. And even if you don't know what your greatness is right now, it's already set in stone when you were created. So it's going to come out one way or another. You just got to find your outlet.
I love that. Thank you.